Okay, so now it's the last day or two of your module deadline, work time, and now you want to be starting round 3, which is all about getting ready for the module exam. So you should have completed, now that you've gone back through everything a second time, you've fixed any quizzes and taken them a second time and gotten feedback from me on any questions you still can't figure out. You should have all the assignments done and returned to you with feedback, and you should have completed a DBA by now. So now it's ready to spend these last couple days getting ready for the module exam. So here's how I suggest you go about doing that. The first thing you want to do is make any fixes or revisions to any of the assignments I sent back to you if I've said, you really need to fix this because you don't understand it. But what doesn't mean is, like, if you got a 90 on something, redo it to try to get to 100. Only redo them if I tell you you really need to figure this out because you don't understand it yet and you won't be ready for the exam. So start with any revisions you need to make on the assignments, and that'll be a good way of reviewing and studying for that material for the exam. Once you've got that done, then what you want to do is go back yet again to any of the quizzes that you still really are kind of having a problem with, and this is when you can take any quiz that third and final time. Again, other ones that you have like maybe 1 wrong or 2 wrong questions on, but you know what you did wrong. It's up to you. If you have time, retake them a third time, but really just focus on those that you're really still kind of struggling with. And this time when you take that quiz, you'll get it'll show you the right answers. So again, there's another kind of good way to get ready for that module exam, by studying it by taking those practice quizzes in the lessons. Then you want to make sure that you've got certain stuff memorized, because you shouldn't use your notes when you take the module exam. So make sure you've got stuff committed to memory, especially any formulas or equations or charts and graphs that you're going to need. You'll want to make sure you have that stuff committed to memory. So I have provided you with a study guide here and a little cheat sheet that you might want to just print out and have handy, and it will by unit tell you which the formulas and equations that you really want to have committed to memory. And you'll be able to click on that here, and it will bring up this PDF form that you can just copy and paste or print out, and keep it handy with you, and unit by unit it will show you the formulas and graphs that you want to have committed to memory. All right, last thing you want to do kind of to get ready to study for that module exam is review anything from prior modules. Your first 10 or so questions on each module exam will cover material from previous units as a way of reviewing it. So expect that, and maybe go back and brush up on some stuff. It's a way of keeping that information fresh as you go. Okay, so then it's time to take the exam. Once you've studied and you're all set to go, you will want to start. Each exam does start with a little lesson. It highlights the concepts and things that you want to be thinking about from that unit, so it's a little study guide. Make sure you know this stuff before you take the exam, and it will also give you an idea of what this will look like on the actual AP exam. These module exams are set up to mimic the AP exam, so they're going to give you real questions that you might see on the AP exam, and it will put them in the form that you're going to see, so it gives you little hints on that as well. Once you've gotten over and seen that, you're ready to take the exam. I'll go over this later, but again, on the exam, to simulate that AP testing experience, try not to have to use your notes, because you're not going to be able to use your notes on the AP exam. I also may set up a time limit for you on this too, to simulate that idea that you only have so many minutes to take the exam. So I'll put a time limit on those too. You shouldn't have to worry about it. I'll give you plenty of time. And the other thing that you will want to know is that you're only going to get 1 shot on the module exam. You've had lots of practice stuff on the quizzes, but for the exam, for right now, you're going to get one shot at it. Okay, once you take the exam, you'll want to review it, go over any questions that you got wrong, see if you can self-correct any, and any that you can't figure out why you have it wrong, you do the same thing you did like in the quizzes, and you send out a comment to me, send out a request or help to me to say, I got, number 9 is wrong and I can't figure out what I've done wrong. And we'll give you that feedback. Okay, so last thing, if you get a low score on the exam, on a module exam, I don't want you to panic about it right now. Again, the work you've done in the module, by the time you've got to the exam, should be high enough grades that it will balance out your grade for the course. But the other thing we're going to do at the end of the course, as long as you leave yourself enough time to do so, I will open up all of these module exams a second time, and you can go back and take these module exams again a second time to help you study for the final exam. And hopefully that, if you had a low grade, will help you boost that grade. Then you'll get the higher of the scores. So if you get a low one, we'll talk about it. It's more important to understand what you did wrong than to worry about the grade on it for right now. And because you will have the chance to go and fix it later, as long as you are keeping up with the deadlines and finish in time to do that. All right, so then you're done the module and ready to move on to the next. So at this point, you want to kind of finish up the orientation lessons, where we'll go into a little more detail on how to do each of these assignments.